Hello, this is Mark. I work at one of the Apple retail store. I miss you so much. I'm sick and tired of this shit. I hate this place. Because I've lost my house in 2011 due to the flood in Thailand. So this is the refugee camp. So I'm sorry for everything, for all the noise, for the dirty environment. But if you listen to me carefully, you will get something from this video, okay? Many people around the world, they're trying to ask my opinion. My opinion about, well, what they should buy between Windows 8 tablet like Acer Iconia or Microsoft Surface. And you know what? Don't argue with me, I know that. Like I've discussed with my friend at the Apple store and they said, well, they're uncomparable. I know that shit. Okay, I know that some of you are so great, you know things about technology. But there are millions more in the world that they don't know shit about what is the difference. What is the difference between like full-fledged PC or a tablet, a mobile device? So I'm going to explain briefly about the difference between Windows 8 tablet, where there's, you can name the brands or the models like Microsoft Surface or Acer Iconia, and the Apple iPad 4. We are now talking about two different types of person. Firstly, a person who really wants to invent something to make the quality of people's lives to be better. That's one thing. And secondly, there is another thing. A company that wants to beat the shit out of the previous one that I mentioned, and the company doesn't have passion in the product. The company just want to make the sale. Okay, let me give you a very simple idea before I can go deeper into the detail, before you can say, Mark, you don't know shit about this shit. But after that, you're going to know about that. Let me ask you one question. This is a tablet, right? It's 9.7 inch, and you make it like 10 inch, 11, netbook, whatever. Fine. And, okay, the things that iPad can't do. First, Microsoft Office compatibility. There is no Microsoft Office for iPad, am I right? There is no iPad version for Microsoft Office. But you find that on the Microsoft Surface, of course, from Microsoft. But for this pathetic and confined size of a tablet, and with that price tag, you can buy a regular and proper 14-inch laptop, right? You can do like, so this kind of tablet, even though you put Microsoft Office shit on this one, you can do like serious Office tab on this one. Of course not. This one cannot be your desktop replacement, cannot be your primary computers in your house. So what's the point to have Microsoft Office on this size of the screen, a so-called tablet PC or whatever? Or let's say the tablet supports, like fully supports Xbox games. What about battery life? Or it supports like, MKV files, like 1080p. But for this confined size, we get full experience. We all have to work, right? We all have to like work. Some of you might work at certain place like supermarket, like office, anywhere, like permanently. You gotta be at one place every day, like from 8 to 9, whatever, 9 to 5. But some of you have to travel a lot, right? So listen to me carefully. I'm going to get into deeper detail, and you might get some idea about it too. Even though I have lost my mind, but I know what I'm talking about. let's say you got Windows 8, you got quad-core CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and it's a full-fledged PC. So what? Have you ever heard one phrase? Windows get viruses. Period. As long as it's Windows, as long as it's full-fledged PC, it gets viruses. So, but of course, in terms of hardware, right, you might be able to find a Windows X tablet with quad-core 4 gigs RAMs, you know, like very long battery lives, better speakers, you know, battery AMOLED screen. So what? I've seen them all. And you know what? After I have experienced those gadgets myself, I've found many interesting points. If you're about to compare between Windows X tablet and iPad, you're comparing between a full-fledged PC, of course, is a computer, and a mobile device. Of course, iPad is a big iPhone without a phone. So, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have your brain. You think by your brain. Take your time to think. Firstly, number one, I have checked the Windows X store, the Windows X App Store, and I couldn't find many apps on that. And they claims that they got like tons of Xbox games on that, but I found just a few. And those were not like Resident Evil 6 or something. Those are role profile game. And you can imagine about a battery life. And those are expensive, like $99 US. So don't even think about buying a Windows X tablet and then you might be dreaming, okay, that's great. I don't have to buy Xbox anymore because now with my Acer Iconia, I can just hook up my Xbox controller and enjoy all the Xbox games on the planet. It's not like that. And to be perfectly honest, I have found some inconsistent in the OS, in the operating system. I can't explain, you have to experience by yourself. Let's say you've been using Mac for 10 years, and then you go to the nearest internet cafe and you try PC, and you will get these exact feelings that I felt. It's still Windows, right? It's still Windows. So I've seen some, like, I don't know, people call it flicker, but I wanted to call hiccup. It's my right under my country constitution. So like, I found something like, it calls it like inconsistent effect in the OS. It's not like, it's not very neat like Apple iOS. For the Windows X operating system, it's kind of like, it's like a big future board or any kinds of board with lots of ports, different size of port. It's like, I don't know, I found like clutter on that one. And so I think in terms of like when we discuss about user-friendly interface, I would suggest the Apple iPad 4. I'm glad that we have come to, let's say every day I have to read like 10 websites a day. You want me to name it? I read Macworld, Mac Live, 9 to 5 Macs. I got like Flipboard, Site, News 360 on my iPad. I got pretty much every like news apps, but I read only like technology news. And nowadays that like everyone have forgotten for Android system. We're talking about like Windows X everywhere is Windows X again. Yeah, it's good for Apple because remember the Java incidents on Lion? It's like dark eras for Apple. It's like those hackers who created viruses moved to Apple just a bit, and this time they will aim back to PC again, so it's good for Apple. And secondly, If you're an iOS user or you're a Mac user, Microsoft doesn't give a shit about your life. Microsoft doesn't care about you. We have been waiting for Microsoft Office for Mac. And I mean Microsoft Office for Mac, not something that they name it on the label Microsoft Office for Mac, but it can do exactly the same shit as what we have done on PC. You can't argue with me that if you really want the full experience or the true Office experience for your Office tasks on your Mac, you have to use Boot Camp or Pro or X to install Windows on that and run Microsoft Office for Windows. Because Microsoft still want to sell Windows. They don't care about you. You know what? We have been waiting for many years for Microsoft Office for iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch. And I didn't say they can't do it. They won't do it. So, one more time. You want to play a game? What about battery life? What about the battery life? You want to get full experience? Are you sure? Like tiny confined screen with AMOLED from AMOLED screen from Samsung or something? Are you sure about that? I'll give you a picture. You've been walking around like shopping malls or any places. You need a headphone, right? And that confined screen, and that's it. You watch probably like a few movies and you run out of battery. Why don't you sit at home, buy a new big TV like Sony one or something? Give you a picture. They lie about you about the Xbox games. You can't play shit. Don't even think about the Resident Evil 6 on that one. You get limited amounts of selection there. Pathetic app store. I'm not biased, to be perfectly honest. If you've been watching my videos, sometimes I blame Apple too. Sometimes Apple used low profile equipment to earn more profit. I didn't agree with them. It gives a shit. My life is over anyway. So, listen to me carefully. Who gives a fuck about a full-fledged PC in the form of tablet? For that size of screen, can you use the tablet as your desktop replacement? Can you use that? Can you get the most out of that confined screen, small screen, and get your productivity done using that screen, or use it as your desktop replacement of your primary computers, or even on the road? At that price tag, who gives a shit? It's not about the way that makes people's lives better. It's about the way to beat the shit out of other vendor. It's easy. You buy the iPad, okay? You kind of dissect it, like trying to learn about iPad anatomy inside that shit. And you try to do the things that iPad can't do, right? It's easy. The iPad doesn't have USB, you put USB in the iPad. It's about winning. It's about beating the shit out of other. But it's not about creativity. It's not about making people's life better. Do me a favor. If you have someone you love, especially your daughters, your son, and you give them iPad apps about drawings or anything for productivity, think about your kids, the one you love. And then you give them Windows X tablet, including Android tablets from Samsung. Thanks for watching.